Ladies and gentlemen, we about to have another session, another serving, another blessing for the well-deserving. Are we progressing? 1, 2, 3, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. I wanna take you down to Artist Lounge, a lavish retreat where creativity meets luxury. Enjoy unparalleled comfort. Wow! Immersing yourself in the arts. Would you come on down? Would you come on down? I said come on down to the Artist Lounge. Me and you about to have a little chat about this and that, about where you at. Me and you about to have a little chat. I said come on down to the Artist Lounge. Me and you about to have a little chat about this and that, about where you at. Me and you about to have a little chat. Yeah, I got a little something for you right that chat. And yeah, I got a little something for that bitch in the back. Me and you about to have a chit-chit-chat. Me and you about to have a little chat. Now queens and things, do me a favor, tap your neighbor and tell them me and you about to have a little chat. Did you bring your tens with you tonight? Is you feeling heated? Me and you about to have a little HUNNA House chat. Sit down.
Get ready to be captivated by the extraordinary talent of Sev7en Taylor. Join us as we sit down with this gifted independent artist, author, and spiritual guider for an exclusive interview on our show. Prepare to be amazed as we delve into his creative process, inspirations, and the stories behind his captivating artwork. Don't miss out. Tune in and discover the magic of Sev7en Taylor here on Artist Lounge, Virtual Edition. Well, who do we have? Can you tell us your name, please?
Hello, everybody. It's your boy Sev7en Taylor. I'm a universal spiritual connector, a musician, published author, and many other things in the artist world.
Can you tell us where you're from?
I'm born and raised in New Haven, Connecticut, but my deep-rooted family is from the South, Florida.
Okay. How often do you go there often? Do you go out there and visit? Or you more so set where you are?
I haven't went yet.
You haven't went yet?
I should say.
I'm getting a lot of invites to Florida. I haven't been there before. They tell me I like it a lot.
I definitely want to go.
Tell me your titles, your roles. What do you do in art? Anything you want to include from anything artistic.
Yes. So in the artist field, Okay, so in the artist field, I've professionally modeled, published author, 7 books, working on my 8th book. I've recorded a few mixtapes, countless features, 3 studio projects, and I'm working on my 4th studio project, which is called The Clip Off. And then outside of that, I do spiritual services with coaching and, helping people through guidance.
Perfect. Okay. So, how does being where you're from? So you're from the South and you stay in Connecticut. So how does being where you're from affect your work, or does it affect your work?
I think more so it helps the work because my family is, like I said, rooted. My ancestral background is rooted in Quincy, Florida. And us growing up here in the North, it basically just ties the worlds together. Because I've always felt like there was a deeper background to who I am, what my family is, and what we represent, and it just ties in the lineages of everything.
Okay. So if I get into who your biggest artist influences, I learn what type of music to expect from you. So who is your biggest artist influence?
One, Nicki Minaj, Lil' Kim, Foxy Brown, Missy Elliott, Jay-Z, and Biggie. If you put all those artists together, you'll find me in there.
So you got all pioneers as influences, so that's definitely dope. Okay, so I would expect, ooh, that's nasty. Okay, so you have like a you have like a very swift aggressive type of flow? Are you a rapper? So you're more so of a rapper than do you sing? Do you do any other things like that?
I sing I do sing. I have a lot of different records where I show a lot of versatility. But primarily I'm a rapper. I like to eat these people up.
Okay, so out of all of the people that you call as influences, who eats it alive for you? Just one.
Nikki.
Okay, we on the right track. Okay, all right. So, where do you find your inspiration? Like in if it's situational, if it's experimental, like where do you find your inspiration at? Most of your inspiration.
Most of my inspiration comes from like, I would say it's like various points and departments. Like far as like music, obviously the influences that I named, but it's not just them that inspire me music wise. I'm also deeply inspired by Tina Turner, Michael Jackson, Prince, freaking In Vogue. I find inspiration in so many different artists. Those primarily artists that I named previously were just artists that will make up my genetic musical DNA. Like if you was to look for a love child, I would be their love child. But inspiration comes to me spiritually because when I feel something, it's like I know that I'm on the right path with it. You know, when I have moments where we second guess this experience or what are we doing or, whatever the situation is, I have people randomly hitting me up in the wee hours of the morning and telling me how much I've inspired them or how much they've listened to my music and how much I've inspired them to actually go and make music or do something for themselves or, so I feel like I'm very impactful in the underground music community, whether they give me that credit.
You find your inspiration being inspired by other people inspiring you.
Say it again.
So it would be almost like saying you find your inspiration by other people inspiring you.
Yes.
Okay. That's what's up. When do you have like a favorite time of the day that you like to create, or is it an all-around type of job thing for you? Could you do music all day? Could you do artistic things all day long, all weeks, 5 days a week, 7 days a week?
I think everything needs a recharge at one point. So I could do it. I could do it 7 days, 5 days a week. But I think for me, the reason why I'm more multifaceted is because I like to give things a reset point. So once I slide out a musical project, I tap into the literature field and so on and so forth. So I feel like more so it's more alignment for me, time and alignment. Like, okay, let me slide that out there, let it do what it do, and then I'll come back when it's time to re-up,
Exactly. Okay, so my thing is I'm either early in the morning or very late at night because that's when the social hour is kind of shut down. Everybody's asleep. I can work my best. And for some reason, when I'm sleepy, when I'm sleepier, I'm a little bit more creative because I'm running out that last little bit of energy from out throughout the day. So it's like, I use that time to kind of, to get it off of me, like the edge. Well, let's do something. And let me make it big before I go to sleep. Okay.
I'm a night owl as well.
Good. What is the purpose or what is the purpose or goal of your work?
The purpose and goal of my work to inspire boys like myself.
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
To inspire boys like myself.
Okay. To inspire boys like myself. I thought so.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And when you say boys like yourself, how do you relate?
I would say that those that are expressing that deeper feminine energy in a very hyper masculine world. being able to play with all the colors without feeling like you got to divine yourself to like one particular space. I hate boxes. I don't like shapes at all. Let me be free.
Okay. Um, so it's not. This is a good time for people in music because I think things that always got talked about negatively now are celebrated more than they've ever been. So it's a good period for I'm not gonna ask you your age, but it's a good time for people what is your age?
I'm 28.
Okay, so am I. So it's a good time period for
Yeah.
us to be from the era of '94, knowing where like we weren't allowed to do certain things. It's kind of like they're giving us our doll babies back to play with, if you know what I'm talking about.
Right. I know exactly what you're talking about in hindsight.
The doll babies,
It's like like the privilege has now.
the Barbie dolls that they snatched from us, they're giving it back to us.
Right. Well, I still was playing with them.
You was still playing with. Look, listen, my mama had a hiding space for the dolls that I had gotten from other people. She hid them from me, and I would get up at night and go find them and go play with them. I changed their hair every night. So I come from the era where it was just not okay to
Yes.
be. It wasn't okay to be free. I mean, it's still kind of bad for the kids because now that we are more freer, the kids have access to more information or this or inquiry. But I think as long as we doing it in a way that's respectable and that's decent, I think there's nothing wrong with being free. So thank you for being a artist that actually isn't afraid to do that, because I used to be. You're welcome. I'm gonna take a brief break. If there's anything you want to say before we get into our next segment.
Just tune in.
Okay, just tune in. All right, we'll be right back, you guys. All right. So far, we have learned Sev7en Taylor is a music artist, an author, and a universal spiritual connector. And please tell us about this commercial that we just viewed.
Yes. So basically, I'm going to be doing like a series of different teasers, commercials that will help hint at the new worlds that the music will bring you into when you get to press play on it. My project that's coming up, the clip off, it taps into the opposite of the tree of life. So if anyone that has studied the tree of life, that are into the Kabbalah, etc., those that are in the spiritual streets, they know what I'm talking about. The clip off basically is where we're at on earth, the physical realm, the drugs, the sex, the rock and roll, the physicality. So as we approach earth, you'll start to get more and more little visuals that showcase symbolism in the project of us ascending towards earth. So yeah, that was the whole message behind that.
Okay. All right. So what was the I think I saw something like a goldfish. I saw the goldfish. Is there a symbol? Is there symbolism in that or something? Because I'm asking for a reason.
Yeah, so there's a lot of symbolism in the commercial. Um, when you look at the different slides, you see.
First of all, if you talked about any of this, would it give way to the actual album? Because if not, I'm not going to ask you to do
No,
it.
it's actually the
Oh, okay.
teasers. The teasers literally which are just. It's like I'm putting the oven on 350. You don't know what the cake gonna taste like yet.
Okay. Come on,
um,
350.
okay.
Give me a 400.
um, yeah, but I basically, if you look at the slides, and you will see that a lot of them said like it's like a little box that says no signal. So I took it back to the days where we used to watch TV and we had a cable box, and it's like basically subconscious programming that's happening. When people go to their day-to-day life, there's some people that are just existing, they're not living. So it's like there's literally a no signal box on top of their head that I see spiritually. I'm like, okay, this person's not really living, they're just existing, they're just doing their day to day, and they don't really have no type of real creativity or input in what they're doing. So I put that in there on purpose to showcase that you can be physically here in the physical realm without no actual direct connection to your ether or your outer world ancestors either, which is the alien race.
Okay.
Some
Because I
people
was
got
just
it though.
speaking.
Some people didn't.
I asked about the goldfish particularly because I was just looking at the symbolism of a goldfish is in association with abundance and good fortune and good luck. So I was just wondering, did you give way to that in the commercial? Instantly when I saw it, I'm like, oh, it's my
Yeah.
favorite fish.
I like goldfishes too, but I
Okay.
will also say the fish tank symbolizes illusion. Like I said, a lot of people are like when you take a fish out of the ocean and you put it in a fish tank, it's clear. They don't see that it's a glass, so they're gonna hit the glass because they're trying to, they're used to this going everywhere they want to go. So the illusion of where we're at, like us being in this world, a lot of us think that this is just it. Earth is just a grand old thing, and it's like no, there's an actual bigger journey outside of this thing called life. The human life, I should say.
That was a great. I'm very interested in this album. I can't wait to hear and just see things from it. Because it sounds like with the knowledge that you have spiritually, that makes a great artist. Period. So imagine having the keys to actually make it sound as good as they're talking about it.
Yeah,
You got
y'all
me
gonna
very
love
interested
it.
in it.
Thank you. No, I'm excited that you are. Yeah, when people hear this album, like I said, this is like some of my best work. My best work. Because I really my main focus that I've presented to myself was to be the artist while I'm recording. Don't worry about the press run and everything that I'll set up after I'm done recording. Just worry about being an artist, feel the emotions. This album is 3 years of memories from a breakup, from grieving, from just life changing in general, from separations, friendships gone, people being exposed. It's just a lot of different things in this one audio track that
Well, you said people being exposed, or so you pulling the covers off, or you doing it safely?
Oh yeah, I do. I talk about a lot. I talk about a lot of stuff that has transpired behind the scenes, just in my artist journey. Um, and when I say expose, it just mean I give life to what it really was. People birth illusions all the time. They try to make it seem like they're perfect all the time. I'm like, no, we're gonna birth the truth today. That's what the clip off is about.
Okay.
And that's why I named it that album. That album title is because I wanted to ground it in physicality. Like we're gonna be real solid around here.
Okay. Well, my next question to you was actually, what was your dream project? Would you say that this one would be your dream project, or do you have another dream project that you just want to bring to the surface?
I feel like right about now, this is like one of my favorite projects because I grew so much musically, but not just musically, intellectually. And even when I did approach personal songs, because you do have a lot of personal songs up there, even when I did approach those songs, it's like the words was just like flowing so fast that I had to hurry up and write them down. Like it's like once I tapped into that vault of emotions, I was able to just sit in it, and then present it to the world how I want to. So it's like a lot of the studio sessions was just pure magic, where my engineer was like, "Wow, this is very different," but a good different. Like he can see the growth in me musically, and I feel like everything that I went through just created a new hunger inside of me. So I'm ready to eat.
So the name of this album is it? Am I pronouncing it right as the Clip Off?
Yes, the clip off. Yes,
When is this set to debut?
it'll debut this year. Um, I'll say maybe in a few
No
months.
time period, just this year, right?
Yeah, this year, because I'm just now I just got to the 85% completion mark. And I actually just got some records
That
back
okay.
yesterday. So I'm now going to be going to the collab side of things. See who I want to collaborate with. Who will actually add to the mental visual that I'm creating. So I wanted to do everything step by step. Solo work and then my collaboration work. But I did collaborate on Calling Planet Earth, which is a current soundtrack out right about now from the album, which features Danny Singh. He's a New York native. A lot of people like Calling Planet Earth because it's gritty.
Do you have any other collabs or anything that you've done recently, or any other people that you worked with in the past months, or anything you want to mention?
Mm-hmm. So I did hop on Thinking About You remix with Lauren Jamal. Shout outs to Lauren. And that's dope. I see a lot of people are still gravitating to it and sending me videos and stuff, but I'm listening to it. I do have some other stuff in the works with some other artists. And I'm going to be working with some other artists as well for my project. So everything, I like to just surprise people. I like to just do my thing. And then when we set a time, we drop that shit, I like to surprise
and
culture.
just gag the people.
Yes, gag them. Give it to them. Give them your all. If you're going to do it, you got to give it your all. or stay home.
Absolutely.
Things.
I'm all for that.
Yes.
What's the best song you think you created?
Whoa. It's a big question. What's the best song that I think I've created? What is the best song?
Because there's an artist fan perspective of best song that you've created, and then there's yours, and it's always sometimes different.
It's always different because when I get people like connecting with me, they always talk about some people talk about a lot of my older work too. I would say best song that I've created. Wow.
This always takes a minute to answer.
It's a big
it
one
never
because
fails. It's okay.
Yeah, I have a lot of music that I've done, and I think
I know, and that's what makes it a fun question.
Right, and I think for me as well, the reason why I'm pondering more so is because I remember every studio session for every project or anything that I worked on. Like everything has always been very intimate with me with music, So it's never like a slap something on that and go about your business. Like I'm very intuitive with it. But I would say a song that surprised me when I did hear the playback, Demon Time. I think Demon Time, if Demon Time wasn't on Blessed Be, which is like, one of my latest projects right about now. If Demon Time wasn't on Blessed Be, I think Demon Time would have been a perfect fit for the Clip Off. Because it's very spiritual, but not just that. It's very like erotic and it also feels like you're dibbling and dabbling in some type of like drug. Like it's like a high when you listen to it. And a lot of people always say that they feel sexual when they hear it, and that was kind of the purpose.
What drug?
whatever drug it
Oh,
gets you.
that sounds like some Rush.
Yes. I've had those.
You said-
yes.
Is that some
Yes.
Jungle Boy?
Mhm.
I want a song called Jungle Boy.
Yes. You said you're working on a song called Jungle Boy?
No, I'm not working on a song. See,
Oh, okay.
I said I want a song called.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
No, but that would be fun.
Manifesting it, you know.
Huh?
I said speaking it is manifesting it.
Oh no. Jungle Boy is the name of a of a enhancer, sexual enhancer, booster.
Oh, okay. I mean, I
was just joking.
and stuff like that, poppers and all those things.
Well, yeah, it is a poppers. It's just a brand of a poppers.
Oh, okay. Ooh, okay.
I think it's Jungle Boy. Jungle Guy, one of them. It's some with a jungle in it. But I heard you mention about huh?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't want to interrupt.
I was gonna say I heard you mention about the fact that you had old songs still out that people still like. I can relate to that. It's so many people, right, who still bring up songs I did 4 years ago, and it's new songs that people haven't tapped into yet, only because of the fact that I haven't made visuals for them. So I'm learning that visuals, along with your best songs, is always important. The songs that you think are your favorite, you should work first towards getting a visual for, because people remember them much longer than they remember a better song that you would have put out. Because as an artist, you want to feel like you're getting better with your music and that you're touching more of your fan base. But it's like I used to feel like my growth was stunted a little bit because people couldn't look past a project I did 4 years ago that's not even, as relevant to me as it was then, but I still appreciate the appreciation for it.
Yeah, I think that's always a very interesting thing, because I when I look back on my catalog, it's very wide range. Like, I've tapped into rock. I've primarily always tapped into rap, hip hop, soul, neon soul. I've always used the voice as an instrument to me. You can find your pitch, find your range, and do what you gotta do with it. So I've always was able to go in there and create the sounds in my head. Like, it was always trippy to me to like leave the studio and press play on the record, and I'm like, oh shit, it sounds exactly how probably even 10 times better than how I've heard it in my head before laying it down. I know Demon Time, those have visuals. I shot those videos like 2 years ago with a director named Benici Paul. But I think I feel like even with visuals and things nowadays, because everything is so instant, it's sometimes good to just feed music to them and then follow up with something. Have things already shot, obviously, but and then give it to them, because everything is so instant gratification. People go to the gym and expect a gym body by the end of the week. Like, people go and to school and expect to learn everything by the end of the week. Like, it's like everything is so instant gratification right about now, even down to music. It's like everybody keep putting out all these constant singles, and it's like, let it do what it's supposed to do. Let the single do what it's supposed to do. And sometimes the single is better heard in the body of the work. I've heard a lot of singles that once I heard it together with the body of work, I said, okay, yes ma'am, I get it. I understand the vision. So I try to always give advice to artists is to
preserve something, have something to preserve, and I
have a
definitely
mysterious
get where you're
vibe
at with
to
that.
yourself too. Yeah, preserving and mysterious vibe go hand in hand. Don't give it all to them, but give it to them how you want to give it to them. That's my recipe.
I agree.
That's my recipe.
Okay. One of my questions I wanted to ask you was, do you have techniques for overcoming creative blocks?
Yes. One technique I use.
Asking for myself.
Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, one technique that I use a lot is this writing. And then another technique that I do use is a reset. Like sometimes we'll hear, like, you'll hear production, and necessarily the words might not come to you right then and there. It's okay to loop it, and if the looping doesn't work, I say give it a break, step away, go outside, get a drink, whatever the situation is, wake up the next day, then listen to it again and see if you catch a vibe. Then, like, sometimes you need experience to write to particular records. Like that's the requirement. Like, I need you to go out, hypothetically, I need you to go out and have a few drinks with someone, maybe have a hookup, and safe hookup, safe sex, y'all. But have a hookup with someone, and go to Paris or wherever the situation is, and then come back to this particular record and write about those experiences, because now you're gravitating to it from a more deeper soulful connection that a lot of artists do nowadays lack. They lack putting experience in there. It's like, as us being, like individuals being rappers and so on and so forth, MCs, I get it that you want to showcase your wordsmith, your penship, and so on and so forth, but it's okay also to take it up a notch. I know you can rap. I know you can rhyme words together. I know you can wordplay and all those different things, but I need you to also to bring it to another level where not only am I getting the word schemes, I'm also getting the cadence in your voice. I'm also getting how you articulate upper octave certain words, lower octave certain, like the whole formula. Like, again, rapping is as serious as a technique of singing. I like to hear that. So I study the greats then become greater. That's my philosophy with things. And I feel like when people go more back to the background of experience and putting your soul into it, we'll have less burnout singles happening. But to answer your question in shortness, reset yourself. Go get some experience. Loop the beat if you need to, and then come back to it. If you feel as though that you're a night owl, then I would say try writing at the time that your creativity is high. Don't try to write when you feel like you had a long day or you've been. And also make sure that you're cleansing your area. Make sure that you're setting a vibe for yourself. Make sure that you don't answer certain phone calls. When I'm in the studio, my phone is on my phone is on airplane mode. I will talk to the world. I
block some people in a heartbeat if I feel like they're gonna take up my time.
Yes, I'm big on that.
I appreciate that. Those are very great techniques. I think everything you said was very much so speaking to the question I also asked earlier about, like, how do you, where do you find inspiration? And when you spoke about just the experiences and things like that, it's like it sounds like resetting yourself is the healthiest thing you can do to get inspiration to the type of things that you want to create. And that's a good technique. Yeah.
And understanding
it's one of the best ones I've.
While you're resetting it, what range of reset you're doing. A lot of people don't. They don't know that sometimes you got to just step back a little bit, like let it. If it's gonna be a cocky record, let that cocky energy, spirit, whatever you want to call it, find you.
Okay.
Even when
if it's not in you.
Right. Even when I had approached writing Sev7en This, that was like the first record that was hinting at a new era of what we're going into now. And when I was like, excuse me, I'ma rap these niggas like a doobie. I'ma smoke these niggas like a Lucy. Word to that Newport. Got a couple, like when I started going into like, I wanted to be cocky. I wanted it to be like immediately when you got in there, like, excuse me, I'ma rap these niggas like a doobie. I'ma smoke these niggas like a Lucy. Word to that new pop. Like I want you to go on the ride with me. And how I'm about to do
feel that.
I
like that. That pushy cocky energy I really live.
Yes. That's the music.
It's like owning, It's like owning almost that, like, I like when a person is actually humble, even if they act like they're the most cockiest person. I just think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, balance, duality.
In art, you can be whoever you want to be and be just as regular as you want to be in person if you choose to be. That's the beauty of art. You know, you can take it from your actual spirit, but you can also create one.
Yes,
So
I
like
agree.
that's pretty dope.
I agree. Sometimes people are very in this industry very weird. So outside of what they do, but I've always been a very humble soul to share space with, and yeah, let's vibe, let's catch a drink, let's take a picture, let's do things, certain things. I don't let the accolades get to my head. I just use it as a means to push forward. Okay, I succeeded at that. Next row, please.
Okay, just a throw in question: if you were ever to be a mainstream artist, would you sign with P Diddy?
Hell no. Hell no. Shout out to Diddy though, but no, ma'am. Diddy has a spiritual. I feel Diddy has a very.
He has a very Prince of Darkness spirit. I done said it. Miss Chandra Combs, she got a.
Yeah, he's giving kind of
okay.
like a grim for the music world.
I know we on some energy. We got some energy waves and calm it then, because I actually met her. Why I keep calling her? That is so fucked up of me. I actually met him at a audition.
I thought you was talking about.
Because he acts like a shady lady. You hear me? I don't trust that child.
Yes.
She's just very shady. And when you giving me an impression, once I've had respect, you give me an impression, I gotta go with my impression. And I was very intimidated. You know what I'm saying? And I just Since then, it's just I don't refer to that person as a he. I misgender him sometimes on purpose, and I hate it. But
I think
it's just
you're relating
the
to
vibe.
his energy. Like I think how like you.
It's very Chandra Combs. It's just like who the fuck are you? Like it gives that type of vibe. Like who do you? Right,
because you have the host, and then you have the host, and then you have the energy. Like I teach this a lot to people in classes. Like a lot of people were like I be on the phone a lot with women, and they refer to me like girl, and because it's because they're relating to that feminine energy in me. So it feels like even though my body is saying, hey, this person is born a sign male, that energy inside that I'm carrying is like, girl, this is my sister from around the block. So I'm assuming you're an empath, so you're very sensitive to energy, so like, okay, this person may be presenting male physically, but spiritually your energy is a little sassy.
It's presenting hell.
Yes, but hell no. The question is hell no. Shout out to Diddy though.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Do you have a network, on a serious note, of any other artists? You sound like you have a lot of insight and education on music and a lot of things. But it sounds like you have like a very coachy type of presence. So do you have like a network of other artists that you network with, and how do they support you?
So every now and then I do pop-up spaces on Twitter, which is called Pop-Up Twitter Space. Normally around the times if I'm releasing something or if something big is happening, I don't default it as a celebration just solely focus on me. I actually try to incorporate others that may be releasing or have released around the time that I'm going to be on something or releasing something. So the last Twitter Space I did, which was very dope, I actually had Angelica Ross. She was scheduled to come in, but she had some stuff going on. But I had a lot of different industry people that were, like, when I sent them the invite, they said, yeah, sure, I'm going to come. And I guess because it's just based off my energy. Like, people feel my energy. So I do host space for artists and independent artists to get privileges that they might not get. Be able to talk to someone. Some people even, when they're talking to me, they're kind of like, oh my God, yeah, but I'm talking to you. I'm like, yeah, I'm here, I bleed, I shit, I do the same thing you do. Nothing changes who we are. We're all having a human experience. And if you want to, vibe with someone, just be you. don't fan out, because then that's how people put you in the fan box. That's just basic one-on-one knowledge. But yeah, so it's like my spaces are basically just spiritual. I'm like, hey, I'm about to drop something, but you know what? Let me look around and see who else is dropping something. You know what? Let me hit up some platforms and do a collaborative playlist so I could give not just only me, but other artists a spotlight for their music.
So what do
My
you
community work.
do? You sell you have an open platform for just streaming your music? Do you where do you stream your music?
Well, you can stream my music on all platforms. I'm on everything. Um, Apple Music, Spotify, etc. I'm on everything. SoundCloud, YouTube. Wherever you listen to music, you will find me. You might even find some older records of mine, depending on what back alleyway you're going through, But I'm on everything. I'm universal.
Our last question is describe how we can encourage your career growth. What can we do?
Encourage my career growth. Um, I would say support. I mean, I definitely do get a good, large amount of support and love. Um, I feel like also understand that when opportunity presents itself for me to walk through a door, you're walking through the door as well. A lot of artists don't want to share or retweet or listen to other people's work that may be a little bit more notches ahead of them due to their experience and their journey, because they don't want someone to pop. I'm going to pop regardless. Whatever's in my alignment of success and so on and so forth, is a reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. Is a reason why I was born, in an artistic world. But I would say we have to learn how to stop putting our personal emotions with someone else's journey. Like, oh, I'm not going to support that. I ain't going to share that because you scared someone else going to pop. But them popping going to help you pop too. Do you not know that? Do you not know the domino effect of things? Do you not know Nikki popping helped a whole entourage of women to be heard? And so on and so forth. It's like we got to get out of that one track mindset, and also we got to stop the whole if you think you could fuck someone, then you'll support them.
Oh my goodness! Oh my God! Okay? Hats off.
Yes.
Look,
yes.
I'm done with the interview. I'm finished.
Yes.
No, seriously. Oh my God!
Much.
You ain't said nothing but a word.
Listen, I've been in them industry parties. I've mingled. I've been in and out of the industry world since I was 21 years old. So it's like, yeah, it is.
Dangerous. It's almost like
it's so many people and that's why I say this. I said so many people could look, and you want to know something? I understand the power that I possess. Some people don't. So I know when I roll out and when I do something, it's going to hit like grits because I know how much soul and love that I'm pouring into the bodies of work or whatever I'm producing at the time. Even down to my commercials or whatever, everything I do, I'm hands-on with it. I spend hours with it. You don't just get something out of like, oh, well, I spent 15 minutes on it, I'm going to post it up. No, bitch, I'm spending hours on it. I'm damn near sleepy because I don't have meetings and all this other stuff like that, but I'm still being an artist and tapping in when I get that light bulb that comes on in my head. Sometimes it comes on at random times, like 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, damn, I know how I want the album cover to look. Damn, I know how I want the commercial to look. Damn, I know how I want this to sound, So it's like, for me, it's like, I understand the power that I possess, and I know that sometimes when people are not used to particular energy, they're going to do two things. One, admire it, or two, hate on it. There's no in-between. And if you got in-between people in your life, they're not really for you. One day they support you, next day they don't support you. They're not for you. Those are just people that are just depositing energy in case you pop off. Clear your circle out. I've learned a lot, and that's why that's why I know that I'm about to go to another level of things, because I went through the whole mixtape circuit. I went through the whole, being able, get invited to industry events and stuff like that, performing at this private little party that was for celebrities and stuff. Like I've been dipping and dabbling in these streets for a while. I just think people feel like you have to put it on your fucking forehead every day. Like, no. I'm like, if you really want to work and you really want to succeed in this business, then you got to do the work. You know, I said, and if you don't feel like it's happening, it's not that it's not happening. It's just that you're allowing the alignment to happen in your life. Get your music to where it need to get to. So when you send it over to someone, you're not biting your nails. You know your shit gonna hit when they press play. You know, you gotta, like, sometimes people want that instant gratification with everything. It's like you want to instantly be a molded artist. You want to, like, no, I've been doing this for a while. I debuted it in 2014-15, where at that time it was a handful of us. As the years follow, you started seeing more and more queer rappers and so on and so forth. But I remember it was just like a handful. It was just Case the Killer and all these other people in different locations, you know. So it's like, and I always tip my hat off to those that did it before us, you know. But yeah, that was my, I'm sorry, I don't even go to a little rant, but that's just my biggest thing with this.
No, this was that moment to mention all of that because, you know, a lot of people don't have lines of experiences to talk from or to, you know what I'm saying, for when we didn't have Logic and GarageBand and things like that, when we had nothing but Audacity or we figured out a way. Shit, I used to make my songs on Windows Movie Maker if I ain't have nothing else. For back in the day, but
I used to do the voice recording. I used to do
the thing is, if you always had the creative bone in you to produce your own music, you have always found a way to do it. Because as a child, I had karaoke machines doing just what I do now. That makes it much easier for me to do it. So when you know you're destined for something, you don't stop doing it. You update with time. You keep going. You know, whatever. And you don't use time because you know, if you recall, the pandemic, we started seeing a lot of sudden artists, sudden people doing music, sudden people doing podcasts, sudden people, you know. But you know, some of us that's been doing this for a while, and it just, you know, for us, it's like a groundbreaking thing when we now have to think outside of the box. Exactly.
Right, because you have a lot of microwavable artists. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. There's a lot of artists that
call it what it is,
and immediately want to be where you're at, or immediately want to sound how you sound. And I'm like, baby, it took time, it took growth, it took criticism, it took feedback, it took countless hours of studio sessions, pushing my pen, networking. You know, I'm independent, but a lot of things that I've done as far as my personal, you know, professional accolades like magazines and all that stuff like that, I did it by introducing myself in a inbox. Hey, I'm Sev7en Taylor. I'm a music artist. I'm working on this, on that. Like, it's how you introduce yourself. That's the key to get you through the door. You know, the approach. And some people kind of like, they just migrate themselves in this, oh, I put something out, so you need to go listen to it. Or I put something out, so you need, you know, and it's like, girl, they don't need to do shit. Anybody that listens to my music or support me in, you know, my classes or book, whatever they do that connects with my brand, I always humbly thank them, because you don't have to. You don't have to interview me. You don't have to include me in your playlists. You don't have to include me in opportunity. You don't have to include me in getting a buck in my pocket. You don't have to. I said, a lot of these girls go based off of just their looks and whatever the situation is. And I'm like, to be honest, when you really get more deeper into the industry, it's much more deeper than that. It's a cute bitch every day. What are you saying? What are you producing? What's going to make you stand out in the next 10 years? What's going to make you be, and I debuted it in 2014, and I've been consistent ever since. I did a mixtapes, then I graduated to original music, then, you know, features and paid features, paid performances, paid, you know, I did it step by step. I didn't just pop my ass in there and say, oh, I'm Sev7en Taylor, you need to listen to me. You know, I feel like I've earned my seat at the table with a lot of things, and I still got a lot more to do, you know, but I'm humbly thankful for everybody. I appreciate it, because it means a lot when you spend fucking 2 o'clock, etc., you know, being in the studio and recording and hoping that whatever you do produce is heard and understood. And if it's not understood, some art is not understood, and that's good. Art should give you a perspective, you know. But yes, I'm done with my rants.
Wow. So I definitely received a lot of education from you just doing this interview. I really I think thank you for one, because you definitely, when you signed up, I knew you were coming with something, because a lot of people, I feel like I have to drag them to give me a little insight, or just a little bit of
Right.
personality
Like you pulling them out of bed.
yeah
Right.
and because even for future artist lounge, trust me, I'm not prepared for the times I feel like I gotta drag people on. So I just want to say thank you for signing up, and thank you for coming to bring that personality to the platform, added with what I started with and everything. So it was definitely great having you as an extension of even reaching out from the remix that you did with the prior artist on the show, Lauren Jamal. I was about to say
Yeah,
Denzel.
shout out to Lauren.
And I hope hopefully we come across each other again where we can do whatever. I like the Twitter space thing. I was there in your last one. I definitely enjoyed talking to everybody.
Oh, there's more. There's a lot more coming.
Yeah, you gotta let me know when you do that.
Yeah.
You definitely have to
we're
do
gonna
that.
definitely collaborate again. And and that's how I said I do it for the culture. So I do it very spiritual wise. Like, okay, yeah, let me do something. Let me, spunk somebody. And people always hit me up after it and say thank you so much, because it not only gave them the opportunity, but it gave them the training to introduce themselves, stand on what they create, and and not negotiate themselves. And that's what I tend to always teach individuals, because like I said, when you come into this, there's not no opening band, there's not nobody, hey, once they hear your music and they hear that you are actually talented and you're not a microwavable artist, see how fast niggas want to include you in something. Nobody's trying to include somebody in something it's like, but again, I tell people all the time, be confident in your shit. Be confident in your shit.
Always.
And I had a lot of experiences where people did promise certain opportunities that would definitely had helped a lot. But because they were not confident in their shit, when I returned that verse, we back to the drawing board. So, but I'm still doing my thing, and I still, surpassing a lot. I'm going to say that. So, yeah, I greatly appreciate you having me here. This was amazing. This was dope. And I feel like, this was definitely, extension of you, because I know you have so many other things to offer with your music and everything that I will support and listen to. And, it was alignment. Me doing the remix led to me, tapping in with you. That's
I
just
appreciate
me.
that.
Following. Hey, what's up? I would love to
following the order of steps. I
it?
really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Like, and because you'll have people who will do that and they're not serious. So it means a lot for me.
I know the feeling.
Introduce because we at the tail end of our piece. Introduce the song that you want to be played as an outro for your interview.
Okay. So hey y'all, this is your boy Sev7en Taylor, and you are now about to hear Calling Planet Earth featuring Danny Singh. That's good.
Thank you for coming, Sev7en.
New York to Connecticut. Please watch your feet. I said doing it and doing it and doing it well. Got a nigga up top, he be copping them shell. I said I'm doing it and doing it and doing it well. I be the flyest bitch when I'm doing my nails. I'ma show you how to get some cakes. I got some thug niggas sacking with some cakes. I smoke niggas, I don't need no fucking vape. Niggas press play on my old tapes. Hit me up on the metro. He don't fuck with the gays, he just hetero. I just back it up and pass it on the next flow. Niggas be listening hard, it's still the next flow. But anyway, how much I made off the next show? I be on these niggas' necks at the next show. All these bitches, they be ballin', all these niggas, they be calling, and my wrist is always snowing, and these diamonds never falling. Doing it and doing it and doing it well. Got a nigga up top, he be copping on shell. I said I'm doing it and doing it and doing it well. I be the flyest bitch while I'm doing my nails. Yeah, break it up. I got some rich niggas tryna play the goods.